Yes, they should. Skip, I just don't know how you come back from this. This is so toxic, and it played out publicly. Skip, there's a lot of times, you get into an argument with your girlfriend and your wife, and you say things behind closed doors, and you know what? Nobody knows what's going on between me and you. We can make it work. Let's try to make this thing work. But man, Skip, you go out there with this thing publicly, you start posting stuff on social media. You start all of a sudden TMZ get a hold of some things that transpired. That's a whole different ball game.
Yep.
Cleveland and Baker has let this thing become public. We know this is not no sources said. Skip, we see. There was a public flirtation. It wasn't no flirtation. They were trying to date. They wanted to be involved in a relationship with Deshaun. There wasn't no flirtation.
They proposed marriage
to
somebody they didn't even really know.
They married at first sight.
Yes.
I think that's a reality show, Skip.
Yep.
And then Baker saw the writing on the wall because, as you mentioned, everything was in past tense. He wasn't talking about no future tense with his career moving forward with Cleveland. Everything was past tense. Thank you for, I'll always remember the support. Cleveland, you'll always be in my heart. Always.
Farewell, Cleveland.
Yes. So he's talking in that tense.
Yep.
Letting you know where his mind is. Cleveland were letting you know where their minds were. So for me, Skip, I just don't know how you make it work, but I do understand Cleveland's point. Nah, we're not trading you. Y'all not finna give us pennies on the dollar, because once we say, okay, Baker, we'll do that, you know how this works, Skip. I know you want to get rid of something. I'm not going to give you fair market price. As a matter of fact, the guy, I think he CEO of Fashion Nova, there's a house right up there in Beverly Hills, was on the market for $500,000. It went to foreclosure for $250,000. He got it for $141,000. Well, hey, he could have paid $500,000 for it, but why pay $500,000 for it when I can get it for pennies on the dollar? Well, if I know you want to trade Baker Mayfield, Skip, why am I going to give you that a fair asking price? Nah. So Cleveland's trying to keep his value up.
I agree.
So they going to get fair market value for him. But Skip, I don't know how they think this is going to be okay after you said, oh, we want an adult. Now Baker said, well, hell, I want to play for an adult. You want an adult at quarterback, I want to play for an adult organization.
Yep.
So everybody wants something that they don't believe the other party can provide. Boy, that's a bad place to be, Skip. I want somebody that can do this. I want somebody that can do that. And neither one of us seem to be willing to do anything that the other party needs. So now what do? They're going to have to end this. They have to, Skip. I don't know how you make this work. I've never seen it. Maybe you can go back, maybe you can recall something that happened in the 70s or the 80s where it became as public as this has become. And you know what, Skip? They patched the thing up. They put an arm around each other. Hey, man, I love you. I love you too, man. You know, people say things. Families say things. Loved ones say things. But no, you can't say things to hurt. Skip, you basically said the man childish. You said you wanted an adult at quarterback. You basically called that man childish.
You did.
You basically said, bruh, we can't win with you. The reason why we not winning more, we haven't won no division and we ain't going further because of you.
Yep.
And Baker said, well, it's because of you that I got my shoulder hurt. It's because of you I continue to play. It's because of you hadn't put me in a position to succeed. Skip, I just don't know how they make this work for the 2022 season and they move forward together. I don't see how they do that.
I don't either, which is why I keep hashtagging free Baker.
Man, stop hashtagging.
Free Baker.
See, there you go.
Just let him go. Let him loose. Let him flourish elsewhere. It's over and it's done. And to your point, the bridge burner, the deal breaker was that one word, adult. Yes. That was it.
Yeah.
Not Deshaun. It was adult to me because I think I know of Baker well enough. I know his psyche. I know his mentality. That was the stinger. That was the one that just got him deep down in his gut like, okay, that's it. I am out of here, and I will never, ever be happy playing for you again because you want an adult at quarterback.
Right.
And then I'm sure the irony of the situation just leveled him. Oh, so then they got on a private plane owned by Jimmy Haslam, the owner of this clown show franchise, and they very publicly, because they had to drop hints to the media, they didn't do it under the cover of darkness.
No.
They let people know.
Right.
we're in the Deshaun Derby.
Which they didn't have to do.
They didn't have to do. You could have done it on the slide.
Right.
You could have. I believe you could have pulled it off even in this day and age.
Right.
If you really had wanted to, you could tell Deshaun's people, we want to do this dead quietly.
Right.
Please don't leak this.
Right.
We will be there. We will meet with you,
Right.
but we will say nothing about
Right.
it. And maybe you could have pulled that off. But no, that they made it like I told you, it's like they left a vapor trail across America.
They announced it.
Right? They announced it. We are going to meet with Deshaun, like they were proud of it.
Right.
As if they wanted Baker to know we're done with it.
Yeah, they flaunt this stuff in the man's face.
They flaunted it. Yeah, it is in your not so pretty face, Baker, your progressive face, right? And I'm sure the irony just slayed him that, oh, wait a second. They want an adult, but they're going down to try to recruit or woo a quarterback facing 22 lawsuits, including accusations of everything from sexual misconduct to sexual assault. Mm-hmm. It's like, adult? What am I? Am I chopped liver? And again, for all of Baker's faults, he doesn't have any of that on his resume, obviously. He had one glitch to me, and that was back at Oklahoma when he shows up with his then girlfriend in Fayetteville, Arkansas, another college town that's not even a rival. I don't know what they were doing.
Right.
And he had a little too much to drink, and you know the rest of the story. Right. And he ends up running from the cops and getting thrown up against a brick retaining wall.
Yes.
Okay. Could have gone real bad, especially if he'd been a different color.
Yeah,
right?
It was really, really bad.
Thank you. All right. So in this case, you can't do this to your franchise quarterback. Yeah. You can't say, you're our fallback position. We're going to go try to get them.
Right.
But the point is on Deshaun, I'm going to say this again, the delusional stupidity of this, to think that
they had a chance.
That you have a chance at Deshaun Watson, your clown show, you're going to go down there and blow him away and say, come save us up here in Cleveland. He's not going to do it. So the first team out of the bidding, out of the running, it's Cleveland.
The Browns.
Okay, was it worth it?
Nobody lined up to go to the Browns.
Okay, was it worth it to go down there and flaunt your power with Deshaun and burn the bridge with your now quarterback? And to your point, they said we are not accommodating his trade request. Okay, is that just negotiate? Is that just bargaining power where you have to tell people, okay, we might hang on?
I got to keep the price high.
Yeah, right. Okay. I don't know, given this clown show, this Saturday Night Live routine that is the Cleveland Browns, I never know what they're trying to do. I don't know if they're serious about trying to keep him, because if they are, they're barking up the wrong tree on this one.
I think here's the thing. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Deshaun Watson goes to Atlanta. Matt Ryan might become available. Jimmy Garoppolo might be an option.
Yep.
So I'm not so sure, Skip, like I said, okay, Jimmy G becomes available. Okay, well, obviously they don't want Baker Mayfield because they have a quarterback. So for me, Skip, and as an adult, nobody likes to be called childish. What? Who you talking to? That's basically you called a grown man with a wife.
Yeah.
You called him childish. You say you behave in a manner that's unbecoming a quarterback.
Yep.
And a quarterback of this status, you're the number one overall pick. And we don't like the way you conduct yourself. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and put this out here. Mm-hmm. Of all the things you could have said, hey, but to say the man's childish, how do you think he was going to take that? To find out that, you guys publicly proposed to Deshaun, and when he said no, you're like, we weren't really trying to propose. We just,
Okay, there was one way they could have pulled this off, maybe. And that is if they had gone to Baker before it ever broke publicly that they were going to go try to woo Deshaun.
Well, they said at the combine they had talked to his representative.
Okay, but according to sources told Jake Trotter of ESPN that Mayfield and his camp learned about the Browns meeting with Deshaun Watson over social media. Can't do it.
Right.
You can't relegate him to backup sort of status, like a backup plan. Mm-hmm. You have to go to him.
Right.
The owner would have to have a sit down with him in which he would pledge allegiance to Baker. We still love you. We appreciate all you've done, but we owe it to ourselves because he's such a great player.
Right.
He's played at such a high level. I just want to go meet with him and look him in the eye just to see what he's made of.
Right.
You could sell it that way and maybe pull it off, but you can't have Baker, who lives on social media to a fault, you can't have him see that
his fate is about to be determined, and he's reading about it like everybody else.
Like everybody else.
But Skip, that seemed to be the going thing, the way they do business, because Bobby Wagner went on social media and said
that's true.
it'd have been really nice.
But then the Seahawks apologized for that the other day at their session.
But Skip,
they said we blew it.
Skip, that man has been there for over a decade. He's a six-time first-team All-Pro.
Yep.
There hadn't been very many six straight All-Pros. This year, he was a second-team All-Pro. So 7 of the 10 or 11 years that he's been there, he's been the best or the second best middle linebacker in football.
He's a great player, and he is a
model citizen.
He's a Hall of Famer.
And you can't all-decade player, and you Skip, you can't pick up the phone and say, Wags, you got your big cap hit. The same thing with Baker. Just pick up the phone and say, look, hey. Now, they report, you said Jake Trotter just mentioned, said he found out on social media.
Yep.
There were other reports that said they spoke to Baker's representative and said they would be looking to upgrade the position. Who do they think they were going to upgrade it with? They thought Aaron Rodgers might be interested. They thought Russell Wilson. Man, Sierra ain't trying to go to no Cleveland. I'm sorry, Skip. I'm sorry. Sierra ain't trying to go to Cleveland.
Not many.
It's the rock and roll.
To your point yesterday, I like Cleveland. I've been there many times, and I don't mind it. I wouldn't be, to be honest, I wouldn't want to live there.
Right.
But I can see where a whole lot of people, starting with Odell Beckham Jr., would not love living in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay.
Versus L.A.
Yep.
Or Green Bay versus Las Vegas. Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, y'all might be title town, but, there is a lifestyle, Skip. I still got to live. I still got to do things. But, like I said, Baker could have prevented all this, Skip, by playing better.
Okay.
I mean, just between me and you, yes, there's enough blame here to go around, but I'm going to put the onus of this on Baker Mayfield because he could have played better, and guess what? This would be a moot point. You and I would not even be having this discussion. As a matter of fact, you would probably be rubbing it in, talking about how great Baker Mayfield is.
Boy, he's had some great stretches.
No, we don't do stretches.
Yep. Baker Mayfield has played under 4 head coaches in his first 3 seasons, 4 coordinators in his first 3 seasons, and you have to cut him a little slack for that because that's clown show. That's what you're having to deal with. And yet, as a rookie, his rookie season of only 13 starts, thanks to Hugh Jackson, was graded by Pro Football Focus the 3rd best rookie season in the 15 years they've been evaluating. Well, that's 3rd best. That's pretty great. They also said that he was 3rd in the league that year in what they call big-time throws, and he had 40 of them in his rookie year. Does that count? Or maybe, no, I guess it didn't count. It didn't matter because it was rookie, whatever.
Whoa. But you do realize since he's entered the league, he leads the league in interceptions. Is that good? Well, or we going to just count that, or we just going to put that on that 11-game stretch. And it's funny that you mentioned that 11-game stretch because last I checked, the NFL has never played an 11-game season. The fewest game they played was 12. So I went back and I looked up, me and my team, we looked up what Baker was graded over 16 games the year that you talk about that 11-game stretch. Did you know he was the 14th rated quarterback of 32? Did you know that, Skip?
Did you know that year in total he finished top 10 in QBR? Is that good?
I'm just saying, no.
Huh.
Oh, what you did?
Top 10 in QBR?
No. Tell the people what you did. You added the playoffs in there. I'm talking about the regular season. Because if you don't finish it up, yeah.
You know, I'm not sure that isn't just the regular season.
No, it wasn't just the regular season.
I think it was top 10
it was not.
QBR.
It was not.
Well,
it wasn't.
He did go 11 games, which is not 3 games or 4 games. It's 11 games. And he was on the hottest roll you can imagine. 20 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. And Shannon Sharpe, help me out. Memory gets a little foggy. What happened in the culminating game of the 8 that they won out of 11? It was at Pittsburgh. It was called a playoff game against your arch rival. And guess who won it? The Cleveland Browns won a road playoff game. Would you believe that was their first playoff win in 26 years, thanks to Baker Mayfield? The childish Baker Mayfield won a playoff game, and you're saying, we don't want
No.
Really?
All I'm saying is that you want to look at everything in 11-game increments, but there's 16-game season. So
okay, well, what did I tell you? What happened in the first games? What was the first 7 games of that season? What happened? He was stuck with Odell Beckham Jr.
It's somebody else's fault.
Well, it was Odell's fault because Baker loved him so much he's force-feeding the ball. egocentric, Odell-centric, I gotta. And finally, I'm knocking on wood for Odell because now he's at another ACL. We're going to talk about this in just a moment. But he tore his ACL at, ironically, Cincinnati, and I believe the 7th game of the season. And there went Baker. He took off without Odell because he starts to spread the ball to Rashard and Peoples-Jones. And here we go, and Jarvis. And here we go, boom, 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 boom. And he's throwing touchdown passes like nobody the Browns have seen since they moved back to Cleveland as the Browns. I looked at this stat last night, since 1999 when they became the Browns again. Would you believe that Baker's stats, just his own stats, are better than all the other quarterbacks combined? Because you know what? They've had Couch, and they've had Brady Quinn, and they've had Brandon Weeden, and they've had Johnny Manziel, right?
Think about that. That's a very low bar, Skip. That's a very low bar.
Yeah, but Baker's been, just his stats in total are better than theirs. More wins, more touchdowns to interceptions is way better. He was, I told you, he was on path. If he kept that 11-game stretch going, he was on path to become the greatest Browns quarterback ever.
That's the problem, Skip. That's not him.
Okay.
The greats can do that.
Okay, but wait a second. Then what happened in the 2nd game this last season? He fractures his left shoulder and tears the labrum in his left shoulder. And you give him no quarter for that. You just say, so what?
Who threw the pick? Who threw the pick? Who hit the defender? The defender right between the numbers. Baker did. So was that Odell's fault?
Yeah.
Odell was out. Odell didn't play that game.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.